And then eventually it got so bad that I took her to hospital and they did x-rays and a CT scan and everything. And then she was diagnosed with stage 4 spinal cancer that had already spread to her liver as well.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Jester Radio. We are in studio with someone that's on for her third time and someone that is actually on TikTok has grown by 30,000 followers since the last time she was on. So Yolandé, thank you so much for coming on.
It's so weird that you know that, but yeah, thank you.
I was watching the podcast from last time, or a little bit of it, and I asked you how many followers you were on, and it was 50,000. And then obviously I went and checked it and it was on 80.
Yeah, I'm very proud of myself.
So it's quite cool that you've obviously grown. And
slowly, but we're growing.
Seeing the growth is obviously what makes putting in all the effort worth it. Because I'm sure there's a lot of effort that goes into that.
For me, like when it comes to TikTok, it's about being creative. Like I've noticed if you just do what other people do and you do the trends that other people are doing, then your videos tend to not get as much traction. Whereas when I take initiative and I do out of the box things and funny, weird stuff, then people actually like it.
That is the problem with trends is, yes, if you're super quick with the trends, it works sometimes. Yes. But if you're a bit late, people watch you be like, no, this person is...
because they've seen it a million times, literally.
And now you said that you're bulking. And I saw, I think on Instagram, you said your goal was how many kilograms? 85?
85, yes.
And how off of that are you?
So I am 83 now. I was on 85 about 6 weeks ago. And then a lot of stuff happened. My mom passed away. I spent hours with her at the hospital, and then I didn't train for about 2 or 3 weeks, didn't eat properly for 2 or 3 weeks. And I started again when I started training now recently. I started on 79 and I'm on 83 again now.
Sure, I'm sorry to hear about your mom.
Oh, it's okay.
You're obviously very vocal about, the struggle that you experienced because of, the terrible trauma that you were suffering because of her death and her passing. What was the cause? And obviously it looked like you kind of were aware that it was coming.
Yeah, so she suffered from very bad back pain and she had an accident a few years ago. So we just thought that it was because of that because she's always had back pain. And then eventually it got so bad that I took her to hospital and they did x-rays and a CT scan and everything. And then she was diagnosed with stage 4 spinal cancer that had already spread to her liver as well. But the way they diagnosed her we knew her time was limited, but we didn't think it was like that limited. So the Monday, I went and I fetched her from the hospital because she was there for about 2 weeks. And I took her home and the next morning she died.
Sure.
And she was fine. Everything was fine. I dropped her off. She carried her own bags. Everything was fine. And so it was a bit of a shock, but I was prepared that it was going to happen like within the next 6 months, but I just didn't think it was going to be like the next day.
Yeah.
So that was a bit hectic, but she's in a better place now and she didn't have the greatest life here. So I feel it's selfish of me to want to keep her here.
It's almost, if you look at people that are suffering, it's the people that stay behind are the ones that no, it's better if they're here. Yes. It's better if they are with us. Yes. But also it depends on the standard of living.
Yeah, exactly.
It depends on, what quality of life do they have, and if they're constantly suffering, and if, they did have to pass, that suffering would be gone,
Exactly. Yeah.
And also those amazing memories that you can continue just because you're not making new memories, those continues, those memories that you had continue to play in your mind.
Yeah.
And obviously give you strength.
Yeah.
So obviously then, you lost a little bit of weight because you didn't train and everything. It's mainly probably just water. The body responds pretty quickly, fortunately. In terms of bulking as a female, because obviously I'm a male, most of my audience is male. So if there are girls that are watching this, what do you think people make mistakes in terms of like how they bulk and what they do wrong?
What I've noticed, especially in the South African fitness industry, is that people don't eat enough. Girls are scared of food, like really scared of food. Often I post my meals on Instagram and then people would reply to that like, yo, that is so much food. Like, how do you eat that? And I'm like, happy, you know. And unfortunately, if you want to put on weight, you have to eat in a calorie surplus, and that's one of the most common things that people talk about on Instagram or social media when it comes to when you cut and when you bulk. Like, you have to be in a calorie deficit if you want to cut, calorie surplus if you want to gain weight. So yeah, it's just people are scared of that, and people want to diet all the time. I don't know how they do it, but you see athletes that literally follow the weirdest, strictest diet the whole year. And I'm like, how do you mentally survive that?
I don't think people do. If you look overseas and you look at, let's say, just take example, most girls know Lauren Simpson.
Yes.
She's always relatively in condition.
Yes.
I can tell you right now, she's not happy living a whole life like that. There's no one on earth that is constantly happy and constantly positive being in a calorie deficit.
Yeah, no,
it's impossible.
And especially when you don't have enough carbs, your estrogen starts to suffer, and that's basically one of your happy hormones. So I know in my prep, when I start cutting carbs and my estrogen starts dropping, I'm the most depressed, terrible person to be around. And for me as well, when it comes to off season, like, I take bodybuilding seriously. I do. It's a big part of my life. It's what I want to do I almost said the rest of my life, but let's say like for 10 years.
As long as you can.
As long as I can. And I just feel like if you follow a very strict diet all year round, you can't. I see it as, if you follow a strict diet in your off season, the chances that you're going to cheat in your diet in season is much higher. So I would literally eat whatever I want, just make sure I reach my protein goal every day. I would eat whatever I want during the day in my off season, reach my protein goal, be happy, train hard. I'm not fat. I am not lean, but I'm not fat. Because I stay active, I do drink my water, I try and be as active as possible. And then in my in-season, when I start dieting, I'm so full of all the garbage food that I've been eating. My mind is actually set, like, okay, I'm going to diet now. And then for 12 weeks straight, I'll be dieting.
I think that might work for you, but there's a lot of people, myself included, where if I say, okay, JC, as long as you hit your protein target, this is off-season, as long as you hit your protein target, it doesn't matter really what you eat around that.
Yeah.
For me, I would go completely ham and continuously go ham. Let's say you got 12 weeks, of off season. I will put on 20 kilograms of just getting takeaways every day.
Okay,
and
I see.
You see, for you, that might be a better method. But for me, someone who has to kind of at least be 80% strict in off season, otherwise
your mind just goes crazy.
I'll completely overeat for like 4 weeks, and then I'll be like, I've put on so much fat. Half of this isn't even benefiting me, because it's, I would say, okay, well, in this burger, that's where I'm going to mainly get my protein. Like, I think you need to work around a healthy, more strict approach in off season in terms of, okay, well, at least get my protein from clean sources of protein. Don't get it from processed, whatever, from a burger joint. But then, your carbs, whatever, you can make homemade chips, or you can make wraps. You can do those sort of things. Exactly. And I think that's what also makes it manageable, because a lot of males, especially in younger males, think your off-season bulking time, eat whatever I want. And then
all the garbage.
Yeah, and then you see how their face blows up.
Yes.
You see how, and that fat is the difficult fat to get rid of.
Yes. No, I know you have to... it's not Corona, I promise. You have to have some sort of structure. But when it comes to the goals that I prep, I put them on an off-season diet, because like you said, it doesn't work for everyone. And a lot of people tend to binge eat badly after comp. Fortunately, I'm not one of those people. I know, okay, it's my off-season now. The food's not going to run away. It's fine. I can have these foods every day now. You don't have to eat all of it at once.
You one in a million, because if you think about how many people get super fat off season, and
that's why, especially because the girls that I'm coaching are all girls that are competing for the first time or the second time. And when it comes to, I don't want to say eating disorders, because it's basically just binge eating after a show and then they're fine again. But like, you try and prevent that with them.
I actually, you mentioned eating disorders, and I want to segue into body dysmorphia. So that video we did, there was recently a guy commented on that and said, yes, so because if for those who haven't watched it, what the caption was, "Ew, girls with muscles are gross."
Yeah.
And this guy commented saying, "Yes, girls with muscles are gross." So then I replied saying, "How are you allowed to, body shame someone with muscles, but the moment someone does it to an overweight person, it's wrong?" Then he's like, "Are you a male?" And I'm like, "What? Are males not allowed to talk about, people being hypocritical in terms of body shaming, or are males not inclined to get body shamed, or how does it work?" I mean, that didn't make sense, his answer.
Yeah.
And it's sad, and we discussed about that a lot last time. We won't have to discuss it this time, but it's sad how society, I think if you don't like a fat chick, say you don't like a fat chick. If you don't like someone with muscles, say you don't like someone with muscles.
Yes.
Personally, I think you should be allowed to have an opinion. Obviously, your opinion shouldn't be deliberately out there to try and offend someone.
Or hurt someone.
But if someone says to you, "Do you find her attractive?" Be like, "No." And if they say, "Well, why not?" Then you can be honest.
But
you
you
can be
don't,
honest about your preferences.
But you don't have to give a reason.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because each to their own. And especially on TikTok, so I posted a video. It wasn't recently. It was quite a while ago. I was wearing a bikini. I was posing. And a chick commented, to all the girls watching this video, "Just know that this isn't realistic body standards and you're all beautiful." Like, I was trying to post that video to tell people, like, this is the standard, you have to look like this, which is absolutely not. And it's sad that this world we live in has become so sensitive to everything. Like, I can't even post a video where I'm proud of myself, where I worked hard, where I feel confident, without people bashing me down because I'm training and because I'm dieting, I'm fat phobic.
Yeah.
It's on TikTok, it's a big thing. This whole body positivity thing, it's getting out of control on TikTok.
I actually watched a video yesterday, the day before, whenever it was, where this obese woman was saying, "If you don't find me attractive, you're fat phobic."
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
Everyone is fat phobic. If you are not fat, you are fat phobic.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I mean, just because I don't find that light attractive doesn't mean I'm electrical phobic. Like, just because I don't have to find you attractive.
Exactly.
It's the same way I'm not gay. Doesn't mean I'm homophobic because I'm not gay.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense how people can be so, one-sided in an argument. And so if you're not like me, you're against me.
Exactly. And then you also get the people that are like, "Oh, this person is so vain for posting about her body all the time and for posting her legs and whatever." But then, okay, so in my mind, how I see it is, if you are an artist, let's say you are a painter, and you have worked months and months on this amazing creation, and you are finally done and you are so proud of yourself, and he posts that on his Instagram because he worked hard for it and he worked hard on it. And then everyone's fine. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so amazing. We're so proud of you. It took you so long, whatever." But as soon as you try and do that with yourself, better yourself, sculpt yourself, and create this masterpiece that you are so proud to show on stage, then you are vain.
Yeah.
It's
maybe it's rooted in that people will look at that person and see like, okay, well, they actually do in society's terms, or old society's terms, because they've changed now, but look more attractive than me. It could be, in their own mind, feeling self-conscious and being like, "Why should that girl look like that? I don't look like that.
Yeah.
Clearly she's vain, or clearly she's this or that."
Yes.
Like, I mean, you're trying to motivate and inspire. And I mean, if you post a video of yourself posing and you get more female clients because they say, "Yo, look how good Yolandé looks, I want to go to her." It's also business. It's not, I'm trying to show off so that I get a bunch of likes from guys.
Exactly.
How is that with, I think I saw a video, because I was also trying to watch some TikToks of yours yesterday, where it was, you need more female followers. Unlike TikTok, what is the ratio between male and female for you?
So before I made that video, it was 70-30, 70% male, 30% female. And then I made that video and I gained almost 10,000 followers just from that video. So now it's about 46, 54 male. So it kind of balanced it out. So I'm glad I made that video. But on Instagram, it's also like 70-30. Like the girls don't like me.
Can I tell you a scary stat? On YouTube, my male audience is 98%.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's why I try to get so many girls on the podcast and it still doesn't work. Maybe the guys just come to watch the girls, who knows?
Girls don't know how to work the YouTube. They just click on the link and then they don't log in to subscribe and all that.
So maybe girls are watching the videos, like if I put a swipe up or something, because on Instagram it's 60-40. So it's still, obviously 60 male. So it still is, and that's what this podcast is. I don't want it just to be bodybuilding or just to be male centric. I want girls to find value in it. I want 50-year-olds to find value in it. I want everyone to find value in it.
Yes, but I like how you've started, like with Clean Cut Schoolie, like all the humor and everything. It's just such a combination of things, and I think that's why your audience is growing so quickly, because you have a wide variety of things going on.
Yeah, I wouldn't say quickly. On YouTube, it's difficult to grow.
No, YouTube, it's difficult. To reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, that's incredible. Yeah. You're almost on 2,000
2,000 almost.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
I needed
really
to hear that. I've been in a little, no one's liking my YouTube videos.
No, man.
So speaking of change, you have changed from Android to iPhone. And I actually
Guys, it's incredible.
I promise. I always had an LG, then I had a Samsung, and then I think it was the iPhone 5. No, the iPhone 8 was my first iPhone. And I got that, and it changed my life. And there's a lot of people that say, Samsung or Android is better than iPhone, and you can do more with Android. And that, that's true. You can download illegal music. You can download certain things.
Yeah, but we live in 2021. We have YouTube Premium and shit like that. Who needs...
Apple is the ecosystem especially. I really like how I can literally go airdrop a photo quickly from my phone to my laptop, quickly copy text on my computer and paste it on my phone. Like cool. That kind of ecosystem is amazing. And why were you were hesitant to change?
No, I was mainly because people told me you're gonna have to pay for everything, and I was like, okay, what do you mean I'm gonna have to pay for everything? So I did a little bit of research, and it basically turned out that everything you subscribe to on your Google, it's not going to carry over onto your iPhone. So, for instance, the games that I had on my phone, whatever I paid for, it's not going to go over onto the video editing, photo editing apps. You have to download it from the Apple Store, then you have to subscribe again to use the VIP or whatever. That's basically all. That wasn't that expensive. But sure, I don't know, but it's mostly Android users that told me to not get an iPhone. Every person that has an iPhone said, get an iPhone.
There's been no person that there's people that have an Android and say, don't get an iPhone, but there's no one that, as you say, has an iPhone and said, no, don't get an iPhone. I'm going back to Android.
Yeah. So I had the P30 Pro, the Huawei, and then I got the Samsung Note 20. And that was a good phone, but when I made TikToks, there was a slight delay in the frame. Like if I record a video and I stop it and I start recording a video again, there was like a slight glitch or delay in the transition or whatever. And they had a new update on the Samsung. And since that update, like if you watch a video in your gallery, you can't like fast forward or rewind. You have to wait until it reaches a certain point and then pause if you want to do something, but it's just stupid. And I don't know, just everything is so much better with iPhone. It's so much easier, it's so much quicker. You can just swipe you don't have to press a button, like you just swipe everything and it's amazing. I'm so happy.
Yeah. And that's also, I needed a work phone, so I got a Samsung. So I had obviously the iPhone for my personal phone, and then I needed a work phone, so I got a Samsung, and I literally had it for 3 weeks, and then I sold it, and then I just bought an iPhone. Because once you have iPhone, I couldn't go back to a Samsung. And just you do get used to how it is. And I love technology and I love phones. Every single new phone, I'm watching reviews. Not that I'll ever change from iPhone, but I'll watch the reviews and I'll see, Android, they genuinely do make amazing phones. Yeah. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But then there's certain things like Apple, you can't compare actually to the Apple camera.
No, yeah, you can't.
The capabilities of an Apple phone is, I think, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you spoke obviously about TikTok and the benefits there. So how did you you know, what were your tactics in terms of, because obviously you've now grown by 30,000. What have you changed certain things and that you tactics almost that you've been implementing, or is it just kind of just, oh, here's an idea, let me shoot this video?
Yeah, so if you go have a look on my TikTok, I haven't posted any recent like fitness content on TikTok. Whereas when I started TikTok, that is what grew me up until 50,000 followers, was fitness and being lean and whatever. But obviously now the last few months I've been fat, so I had to improvise. This is going to sound weird, but it's just, you have to be creative. You have to think out of the box. Like, I don't know if you saw that video where I was doing the dumbbell presses and then like your gym thoughts while you are training. Did you see that video?
I don't think so.
Oh, JC, it's such a good video.
I'll go check it out after this.
Okay. So that video got almost 300,000 views on TikTok. And I
definitely missed that, because last night I was trying to go through to see what your most views were, and I didn't see that one. Definitely
yeah. No, I was literally at Little Falls sitting on a bench doing shoulder press, and then...
No, I saw that on Facebook, I think.
Yes.
I think, yes.
Okay.
I definitely saw that you were doing shoulder press, yes.
Yes. So that was quite funny. Well, I thought it was funny, and obviously 300,000 other people also thought it was funny. And then Afrikaans content on TikTok. There's a shitload of Afrikaans people on TikTok. Yesterday I posted a video how to tell, so the video was, tell me you are an Afrikaans TikToker without telling me you're an Afrikaans TikToker. So when you scroll through TikTok and a video pops up and there's like a filter on it, but like one of those weird filters that make everything look like blurry, and all the like facial enhanced features are all the way up, then you know it's an Afrikaans person. That is... Actually,
I watched that last night.
Yes. So
I enjoyed the one where you said, why you make your nose so small.
Yes, it's that one. So, and the Afrikaans people loved it because they could relate to it. And all of them comment like, yeah, this is so true. We can relate, and we see all the people, and then they tag me in videos, and then they're like this video, and I'm like, don't tag me, these people are gonna hate me. But yeah, it's just, you have to be creative and you have to think out of the box. And like I said, trends don't always work. If you jump on it early enough, or if you can somehow do the trend but in your own creative way, or think of something different, then that's amazing. But yeah, with TikTok you literally just have to be creative.
Yeah, and for those people that don't know, basically everyone's video, the moment they post it, is put on basically to a platform to test if it's going to be a good video or not.
Yes.
You know, and you've got basically 3 seconds to win people over. How do you go about, you know, those first 3 seconds? Is it, this is a funny video, that's how I'm going to do it, or make sure that the first 3 seconds of it are, you know, engaging or going to draw people in?
So what I've noticed with TikTok, if you talk in a video, people tend to listen to what you are saying. So if you post a video where you either have the voiceover, the text voiceover effect, or you are speaking, people tend to, it draws their attention. So they want to hear, okay, what is this chick saying? So then it's usually a 5 to 7 seconds where you have to like grab their attention. And once they pass that 5 seconds and they keep watching your video, then that video tends to do well. So I try within the first, like you say, it's 3 seconds, but I try to make the first 5 seconds interesting. Like, sê vir my jy's Afrikaanse TikToker sonder om vir my te sê jy's Afrikaanse TikToker. So obviously then everyone that's Afrikaans is going to be like, let me see what this chick's talking about.
Yeah.
So you just have to, like you say, try and grab people's attention the first few seconds. And then usually with speaking or voiceover, that works.
Do you follow other people on TikTok where you sometimes get, you know, okay, cool, that's a cool idea, I'm going to do that? Or is it, because a lot of your videos, maybe that one was like a trend almost, or did you create that trend, or were there other videos like that?
Which one? The
Afrikaans TikToker.
Oh, no. So it was a trend. The trend was tell me you are something without telling me.
So then you put your personal spin on it.
Yes, so then you're creative and you make that trend your own. So that's what I meant with, you can take a trend or take something that's trending and just make it your own.
And then after doing that video, were there other Afrikaans people, obviously, that did the same video, read it like with their spin on it?
Not really, no. So what people do is, so in the beginning, I obviously say, tell me you're an Afrikaans TikToker without telling me an Afrikaans TikToker. So then they stitch that part. So then there were a few people stitching, so that part plays, and then they stitch it, and then they make their own video where they have brandewyn and a braai. Okay. Like, tell me you're Afrikaans.
Yes.
Okay. Or they wear plakkies, or they have a John Deere sticker on their car. So people stitched it, but they won't copy the actual video.
Yeah. And in terms of like times of day that you try post, are there particular times that but it also works. One day you post at 7 at night, goes viral.
Yeah.
Another day you post at 7 o'clock, doesn't do well. Next day, 3 a.m, goes viral. It's so weird.
No, that is like, I've posted videos at 10 o'clock at night and then it still does well. So with TikTok, because of the For You page, it's going to pop up somewhere if it is a good video. It's not, I wouldn't say, obviously if you post at midnight and your target audience for that video is Afrikaans people, all the Afrikaans people are going to be sleeping because we live in South Africa and by 12 o'clock everyone's sleeping. So if that's your audience, you're not going to get the reaction you want. So you have to think, okay, I'm targeting South African people, so I should post when South African people aren't busy. So either lunchtime or 8 o'clock at night when everyone is on their phones. If you post 6 o'clock in the morning, no one's going to see it either because everyone's getting ready for work or for school. So you just have to think logically, like, who's your target, and just take it from there.
And obviously you've kind of changed, from a predominantly male audience to similarly both. Have you changed, since having that change, have you almost molded your content towards more at both? Or do you feel like you were just being yourself from the beginning and then men just naturally, because you were posting fitness stuff, were drawn to that?
Yeah, I think so. I won't say I've changed anything because, I'm just posting what I post.
And a lot of the stuff sometimes is quite sexual.
Yes.
And is that's obviously you just expressing...
It's called thirst traps.
Okay.
Thirst traps, yes.
And it's also just you expressing your humor.
Yeah.
The way you want to.
Yeah. It's... I would say that is aimed more towards male audience because obviously, and then you get your like fangirls that'll comment, oh, jy's so mooi, ek wil soos jy lyk eendag. And then, I would say it's a bit of both.
But also Ryan, your boyfriend, has a very similar sense of humor to you. Where if you... I love watching his stories and just seeing some of the humor. And it's nice. It's humor that's funny and it's humor that is basically... It tunes everyone. It's not like he's deciding, okay, today I'm targeting all the disabled people. Like I saw the other one yesterday where would you take $1,000 or your other or an equal sized arm? Yes. So the one guy had one arm out and then the other one was hidden, and then he chose the arm and then both were gone because that was his equal size. So like that's funny because it's attacking a disabled person. Yes. The guy in the video, you could see he wasn't. You could see his arms under his shirt. But it's humor that shouldn't have to be stopped. That's society, unfortunately. There's culture we're in where it's like, no, shame, that guy's disabled. Don't, degrade him through humor.
Yes. If you posted that video 5 years ago, everyone would have laughed and they wouldn't have said anything. But because we live in 2021 and with all this weird stuff going on, everything offends everyone. But
he's had warnings on his Instagram that it'll be taken down.
He obviously people report his shit, people that are offended, and sometimes it gets taken down and sometimes it doesn't. But talking about like community guideline stuff, I actually want to show you something which is quite hectic. So I was on TikTok the other day, and I don't know if you know of this whole thing where people change their pronouns and they're like, okay, I'm a boy now, even though I'm a girl biologically, I am now a boy. You can call me him or he is their pronouns, or them, they, or whatever. So I was scrolling on TikTok the other day, and on my For You page, this video pops up of a chick with her tits out dancing. It's a chick. It's 100% a chick. And she had these huge boobs, nothing covering it, dancing. And I was like, okay, this is a bit much, like community guidelines pretending to be blind. And so I reported the video because this chick is fucking naked. And TikTok then reviewed my report and they came back to me and they were like, oh, this doesn't violate our community guidelines. And I was like, something's fishy. So I went and I searched this chick's TikTok, and in her bio, it says transgender male, pronouns he, him, meaning that it was a girl that changed into a boy. And now because it's a transgender, I can't find the video now, so I'll just send it to you on Instagram or whatever. So because it's a boy that was a girl but then changed, and in his bio he is a boy, it's fine for him to post that. So I can now say, okay, I'm a boy, he, him pronouns in my bio, and I can just dance with my tits out,
Yeah, it makes no
and
sense.
no one's allowed to say anything. And I mean, okay, I know some of the content I post is a bit bad, and like children isn't supposed to see that, but it's nothing nudity or anything like that. It's more swear words and more towards that. So for me, I imagine my 13-year-old brother scrolling on TikTok, seeing this chick with her tits out, and my parents are fine with my brother having TikTok because TikTok is supposed to be a kid's app actually. And here he sees this chick dancing with her tits out. She's actually she was quite pretty, and
He was quite pretty.
he was quite pretty. Maybe I'm gay. I don't know. But like honestly,
It doesn't make sense, and that's recently now where that transgender man, I think it's a man competing with females in
yes,
powerlifting.
all of that is.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Because I was actually listening to an interesting video yesterday, watching a video on Facebook where it was like, at what point is trying to be inclusive to everyone taking away also women's rights now?
Yes.
Surely you're taking away a woman's rights to compete in a fair competition by allowing people
men
who think they are men to come and, compete with you. I
Yes.
cannot tomorrow decide like, hey, I actually feel like being a girl. I want to change and
Yes.
go and compete with. Okay, I wouldn't say girls on stage because they wouldn't like what I am. But if I had to go run 100 meters against girls,
Yes.
obviously I'm gonna win.
Yes.
Like it's male biology is physically it is superior to females.
No, it is.
And that's the difference. I can't. There's not going to be really often a girl that's going to go compete with the men, like an athlete sprinter. If my fastest time in matric was the same time as the woman's fastest 100-meter time ever, and I was a matric. You can't tell me a woman is now going to think that they can go compete against a man and make it. Whereas if you say imagine you say Bolt like, "No, I'm a girl now," and goes to compete against a woman. Like it's not fair.
No, it's not. It's terrible how everything has changed so much, and like you said, it's everyone trying to include everything and trying to keep everyone happy. And I kind of also blame the feminists that have been fighting for years and years, because now it comes to a point where, okay, we're all equal. Men can come and run with you and powerlift with you, and you're not allowed to say anything because you were all about the feminist life. So it's crazy how all of these people have complicated everything so much. Like, let's just rewind to like 5-6 years ago, everything was fine. And I feel like with all of these cliques, like the LGBTQ, the feminists, the whoever, I don't know, there's so many groups now and so many different cliques. It has divided people. It has caused so much hate between people and unnecessary fighting between people, because this person wants to force themselves or their whatever they are onto that person, wanting to force that person to accept them. And you don't have to like everything. Like, I'm not a fan of the LGBTQ community. I think they are lovely people. A lot of people in my family are part of the community. I really adore those people. But for me, they make it their whole personality sometimes. And that I don't like. So I'm not going to associate myself with people like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It comes down to your own preference, what you prefer, and you are allowed to choose your friends. Like, okay, family unfortunately is family, but you can choose your friends, and your opinion is your opinion. You don't have to be forced, or you don't have to feel forced to be friends with people because, oh, shame the community, Like, just be who you are, do what you want to do. Don't force yourself on other people. People are going to accept you more if you just chill a bit with it. Like, don't make it your whole personality.
Yeah, unfortunately, and I was watching this video where this boy was saying he arrived at school, his first day in high school, it was a school in America, where they basically said, okay, well, you are a white guy, you have to make sure that you allow a black person to walk into the classroom before you. You have to allow that if there's no seat, you are the one that has no seat. And he was making this speech. He was like, before I even started or met anyone, I was told how I'm supposed to act. I never once thought about someone else's race being different from mine. The moment I am told how I need to, almost because of past mistakes, put someone up on a pedestal, now I'm thinking about these things. Whereas like I didn't care if anyone was a whatever color.
Exactly.
Now I'm more conscious of it. And that's unfortunately where society is going, is because of all these people trying to be, so outspoken, accept these people. Now people are thinking a lot more about it and becoming more negative, because it's almost like Bible bashing.
Yes.
Where people will hate it if anyone like outright talks about, like, let's say Christianity, because they feel like they're being pressured. Then they're going to be more, they're going to push back against Christianity more. It's the same way if you're constantly getting told how wrong you are for, not being friends with a gay guy. Then you're going to be like, well, just stop. Like, and you're going to maybe become more anti towards it.
Yes.
So the more you are, it's kind of like, with a parent relationship where you told you're not going to that party. You want to go to that party so much more.
Exactly.
When you are almost told you are wrong for something, you're going to be thinking about it more. And people are going to almost want to rebel more. Obviously, in certain things like you should not be a racist, people aren't going to be like, well, now I'm going to be racist. Obviously, different story.
Yeah.
But it's just difficult how, if we constantly told how the mistakes are mistakes, and you're going to be thinking about them, and like this kid now, he's constantly thinking about, what can I do for this race? What can I do for this race? Instead of just treating everyone equally the same. Yeah.
Exactly. No, it's created so much. I think I watched, it was either on the radio or it was on TikTok, I'm not sure. But this guy was talking about how, like you said now, by implementing all these rules and all these funny things, and the LGBTQ community posting all these things, they make it such a big deal that people don't want to be part of it. Like in the past, I was fine with everything, but now it's becoming so much and so like in your face that people in general are starting to just be like, chill, like move away from me. And that is what is causing all this drama.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and I think we just got to be accepting of everyone.
Exactly, everyone.
And just accepting of everyone's differences. Like, I'm obviously not in the minority at all. I'm in the majority, a white privileged male, obviously. But that doesn't mean that now I should be feeling bad for being born as a white person, being born as a male, and being straight.
Yeah.
Like, it's as much my choice as you were saying it's your choice. I was born into being a white straight male.
Yeah.
You were born into being a black gay female, whatever.
Yes.
Like, don't make me feel bad for being the way I'm born. Because I'm not making you feel bad. Obviously, the people that are making them feel bad, but don't take it out on everyone.
Yes, no, I agree.
So going into more positive space,
please.
Your bulk now. How long have you been bulking for?
Basically since my last show, which was last year December. So it's been a few weeks. And this bulk has been going like this. It wasn't linear at all. I'm not going the way I wanted it to. Like reaching your goal and then losing 6 kilograms and feeling as skinny as a toothpick, and then
so you were at 85.
Yes,
and
I
then
was
you
on
went down
85.
to 79.
Yes, because I wasn't training for a whole few weeks. And it's just scary how quickly my body responded to that. I wish it could respond that quickly to gaining weight.
Yeah. But then you went back, now you're on 83 after training.
Yes. So now I'm back on 83. It goes like 82, 83. If I had a good day of eating, it'll be 83. If I had a bad day of eating, didn't drink my water, it'll be like 82. So I'm just aiming for that 85 mark again. And then as soon as I reach 85, I'll start my prep. And I just want to do that.
And you say a bad day of eating. That doesn't mean a bad diet. It means you weren't able to eat
it means I was eating, like I will have a rusk in the morning before taking my mom to hospital, going to visit my mom at hospital, get to the hospital, wait there the whole day, not eat anything, get home that night, quickly have some mince and rice. Like I just couldn't eat what I was supposed to eat.
In terms of your bulking, how many calories do you try aim for? What percentage over your maintenance do you try go for? Is it kind of just as much as I can?
No. So I try aim for between 2,000 and 2,500. So that's also where a clean bulk kind of comes in. Like you said, like obviously if I eat 5 McDonald's meals a day, it's going to be like fucking 8,000 calories, 7,000 calories, or I don't know how much calories are in McDonald's.
See, that would be nice. And that's my problem is, okay, Jesse, eat 5,000 calories a day.
Yes.
I can do that easily, Obviously, if I had to do that every day, eating takeout, I feel like awful, lethargic whale. But that's where my own mental issues come in terms of being able to, yes, you're off season, but you still need to be pretty strict.
Yes.
So that's why for me, it's either you do it or you don't.
Yeah.
Eat whatever you want, but don't have this mindset of improving, or eat healthily, still maybe cheat 3 times, 4 times a week, but make sure that not every single meal is just the takeaways or whatever.
Yeah. No, I agree. So for me, it's just basically 2,500 calories. And then obviously I need to reach my protein goal. So that is about between 180 and 220 grams. So, I just try keep it clean. Obviously I do have my snacks during the day. Like I said, I'm not a strict off-season dieter.
But I think those snacks are more maybe the carbs and the fats.
Yes.
Because, you can't really snack on
protein.
Yeah.
Unless you buy
Unless it's biltong, which is also fine.
Which
that's
is
pretty
quite
clean.
expensive, so
that's
we're not
true.
going to roll that way. But, it's just keeping me sane.
So keeping you sane, how would you, let's say an average, a good day of dieting, because there's a lot of girls that think, what should I eat on a bulk? A good day for you, roughly, let's say you're managing to get 2,500 calories, what would you be eating?
Okay, so I will have, so basically I do have a set diet, but I don't always follow it.
It is off-season, so you are allowed flexibility.
So if it says mince and rice, sometimes I'll have chicken and couscous instead, because I don't feel like making mince or eating mince right now. So my current diet that I've set up for myself, it's 1,970 something calories. So it's egg whites in the morning, and I have egg white coffee. So I make my egg whites in a smoothie type thing. It's complicated, and I know the protein take up, I know everyone don't come for me, protein take up, whatever, with raw eggs, whatever. Okay, so I have egg whites in the morning, and then I'll have some fruit with that, like pineapple, papaya, maybe grapefruit. Then mid-morning I'll have chicken and a little bit of couscous or rice. I really like couscous. I don't know why. Couscous is amazing.
It is nice.
And then lunchtime I'll have either mince or chicken, and then mid-afternoon I have a little snack. So I have a little bit of granola with some yogurt and blueberries. Blueberries are amazing. I literally ate a whole container by accident yesterday.
Those are the ones you put on Instagram?
Yes, they were huge and they were delicious and they were expensive, and I'm never buying blueberries from Woolies again.
Blueberries, strawberries, those berries in general are really expensive. It's $50 for 250 grams.
Yeah, so yesterday it was a 220 gram container that I got from Woolies, and I just went and did groceries. I didn't look at the prices, and yesterday I was looking at the container. It was 69 Rand for 220 grams of blueberries, but they were very nice. So and then so that's my snack. It's granola, or I'll have a protein bar. So either granola, yogurt and blueberries, or I'll have a protein bar. And then for dinner, I like having steak with avo and maybe an egg and rice.
And then the craving starts after 8 o'clock. How are you in terms of that in the off season? I know for myself, if let's say I'm trying to put on weight, I've had a perfectly clean day. Let's say I've had 3,000 calories. And then I'll look at Sasha. We're watching TV. Should we go to the garage?
Yo, that's mine, Ryan. You I think let's quickly go to the garage. What time's curfew? It's still early. Let's go to the garage.
Every couple does it.
Definitely. No, sometimes the snacks, it does get me. Like I said, I don't have a very clean off season, so snacks are a big part of who I am. But I won't say that I overindulge. I'll have a piece of chocolate.
But also, as you said, you'll be I'm craving. Oh, but it's fine. I can have it tomorrow if I want to.
Yes.
So I have to rush off now and make it good today.
So I would say in my off season, I I don't know, I'm not too phased with snacks in my off season. For me, it's more food. Like I want food, I want stew, I want nice things, like nice food. When I prep, it's more snacks. Like I want chocolate, I want ice cream, I want this, I want that. So I would say with regards to snacks, in my prep, it's bad at night. In off season, it doesn't really faze me much.
So it's more like when you off season, it's more savory foods, and then you know on season it's just some sugary nice chocolates or something.
Yes. And I don't know, it feels like, okay, so I'm coaching myself now, and I just feel so much happier with the progress that I'm making and with the decisions I'm making, and I enjoy my diets more because I make it the way I know I'm not going to cheat on it, or I'm not going to fuck it up completely. And I don't know, I'm just so happy. I just feel like, I don't know, the copy-paste diet thing in the South African fitness industry is a big thing.
And that happens with the top coaches as well.
No, it does. I've been coached.
Yeah, well, we both have.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to also not question yourself.
Yes.
Because obviously I've done 4 shows by myself. And then obviously I think however many, I think 4 as well with other coaches. And I have enjoyed far more my time when I've been doing it.
Yes.
Because if you say, okay, well, you know, I'm a little bit hungry, let me have an extra 20 grams of oats today. Okay, it's fine. You can do that, but then decrease this a little bit. Yes. Whereas with a coach, it can't work, you know, that hands-on. It's impossible for them to reply within 5 seconds.
They'll be so annoyed.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. That's why it is nice, but also there comes a time where you second guess yourself. Yes. Especially obviously when it comes more off season, it doesn't really matter. No. Coming close to the show, it's difficult. And have you did prep yourself for your last show, hey?
No, I was coached by Candice. But in 2019, I coached myself for a show, but then I got sick about 2 weeks out, and I was actually impressed with myself. Like at that stage, I was like, no, I don't think I'm ready. But now looking back at the pictures, I was like, yo, girl, you actually didn't do too bad.
That was Muscle Militia. Hey?
Yes.
I remember your posing practice when you were there. And
yes.
Yeah.
I was going to do that show, yes.
And how was it for you in terms of mental space, like not second guessing yourself? Because bodybuilding has created body dysmorphia. I would say I've got everyone has actually got body dysmorphia. Yes. I was looking at a photo of myself the other day thinking, I wish I could look like this now. 2 weeks before the show, when I took the photo, I'm like, no, I don't look lean enough. I don't look good enough.
Yes.
It's not saying I look terrible or I'm useless. It's not that. It's I don't just look good enough for what I'm doing.
Yes, you know what you're capable of.
But it's a form of body dysmorphia.
No, it is, definitely. And I think bodybuilding is like the queen of body dysmorphia. If you do bodybuilding, I have so many clients that send their check-ins and they're like, I literally feel 10 kilograms heavier than I was last week. But then I see the most amazing progress and I'm like, girl, what is wrong with you? You look amazing. Just calm down. And it's sad because that's just, I don't know if it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's such a bad thing, especially in this industry. But for me, like if I had to prep myself now, I would just like to have someone reliable that I can send my pictures to and be like, okay, listen, I'm struggling to see progress from 2 weeks ago to now. I'm sending you these pictures. Please just tell me if you can see progress and if you think I'm on track for 4 weeks out or 6 weeks out or whatever. But I will never be coached by a South African coach again. Never, ever. I will just have someone that I can trust and ask, listen, can you just compare this for me? Tell me if you think I'm on track. You can be honest with me if you think I'm not. And then if they say, okay, I don't think you're on track or I don't think you look good enough for 4 weeks out, then I'll be like, shop. I can myself a bietjie calories drop of extra cardio or whatever. And I've been chatting to, I don't know if you know who Missy Truscott is. She's the fitness Olympian from last year. She won Fitness Olympia last year.
Probably if I saw a photo, I would know.
Yes. She's a blonde girl, very pretty, very good. And so I've been chatting to her. So I might use her to coach me for that show. But we also said that if that doesn't happen, I'm more than welcome to still chat to her, send my pictures to her, and she can not help me, but just give her honest opinion. Yeah. So for me, it's more just having someone to hold me accountable. Like for me, the check-ins are a big thing. And now that I don't have anyone to check in with, like I know I have to follow my diet because I have to check in that day or whatever. But yeah, I just feel like I know my body the best. I know how I respond and to what I respond. And then when it comes to obviously protocols, PED protocols, like South African coaches, they don't know what they're talking about. I literally had a coach that told me to take Mastron and to take Proviron, and then the Proviron will counter all the side effects of Mastron. In males, yes, but not in females. So it's just, I don't know, the lack of knowledge is astonishing. And that's why a lot of girls suffer in this industry, like badly.
I think also it's almost 6 of one, half a dozen other in terms of South African coaches and local coaches, because you do need to find the right coach. Fortunately, you say, if you don't end up doing whatever, you can still semi-work with that coach.
Yes.
But I know someone who signed up for a year with an international coach, paid 25,000 Rand for the year, and he was just another number to them.
Yes,
he was just something that it's just, I've got 400 people because my social media is on 1 million. I get 400 people a month. I don't care about you actually. Like you've paid me for the year. There's no refunds. I will be semi-professional and reply to your messages when I get time. I mean, he was on his 90 kilograms. He was on 1,600 calories. He was on 4 times the amount of juice that he says he's ever been on. Obviously, this coach was a pretty reputable coach internationally. Yes. So I think it's also difficult to have that personal relationship. But fortunately, obviously, you've kind of established that one with her already.
Yeah. No, I'm lucky to have that. But yeah, just, I don't know. Bodybuilding, people complicate it much more than what it actually is. And it has a very bad reputation, and that is because of the coaches and because of the athletes that don't listen to their coach. I don't know, it's just a lot of factors that come into play when it comes to bodybuilding.
I think I can sum up bodybuilding perfectly. Bodybuilding has allowed non-sportsmen, it has allowed insecure people that didn't have friends, it has allowed people that have, previously been almost the loser.
Yes,
to start growing social media followers, to start getting some sort of fame or some sort of recognition, and it can play negatively on their own mental space.
It also creates validation. Like a lot of people, you'll see they were the obese child, or like you said, the loser or the not cool kid, and then they turn into this like super shredded, jacked bodybuilder. I think it has a lot to do with validation, and I think that is the main reason why people will do 1 or 2 shows and then they call quits, because they're like, oh yeah, I'm a bodybuilder, I'm going to do this show and like look amazing. And then they do it, and then it's actually basically just suffering and they can't deal with it.
Yeah, I think the validation they get afterwards is not actually worth the amount they have to endure. Yes.
So then they just like train normally and don't compete again.
So, excuse me. But that is the problem with bodybuilding, is it's a bunch of people that grow their social media by 10,000 followers because they start looking better.
Yes.
And they believe they're a bodybuilder, or they do one show and they believe they're a coach.
Yes.
Where they've had 6 months of experience in terms of what the diet is. They've had 6 months experience on training. And in South Africa, because it's such a small community, you come second in a show, you're the next Mr. Olympia. You come even first in a show and you think you God's gift to bodybuilding.
Yes.
And I mean, there's been tons of people that have done so many shows. Like I've been fortunate to do pretty well locally, but I would never think that I personally do not want to be known as a bodybuilder within South Africa, just because of the negative connotations around it, because of there's so many people that have put negative thoughts about bodybuilding into people's minds because of who they are on social media, how they conduct themselves, how their coach help, how their supplement sponsor help, and it's difficult to want to be a part of something that is so negatively thought about.
Yes.
And like
for some reason it still draws people, and I don't know why. Like,
I think it's because
this industry is fucked. Just stay away.
I think it's because it's the easiest way to. Firstly, you can grow social media. If you become a professional boxer, or you aim to be a professional boxer, your social media is probably not going to grow as much if you become someone who's constantly got their shirt off.
Yes.
So it's easy to grow followers. It's also easy to see results because I can, in a year, change my body drastically. But I in a year cannot become a super skilled fighter and be able to box.
Yes.
It's something that week by week you see changes visually, and that's how humans work. We work visually most of the time. We see something, we like it, we want it. Social media, you see something, you like it, you follow it, you whatever. And it's just that validation that continuously just grows.
Yes.
And it's the ego that just continually rises.
Yeah. It's so, I don't know, the other day a chick on Instagram posted this thing talking about the wellness division in South Africa and how we are not up to standard. And then she compared them to all the pro wellness girls, like girls figure wellness Olympians. Then she would compare the amateurs in South Africa to the Olympian chicks that are qualified now for the Olympia wellness division. And for me, it's a bit unfair comparing that, but also, like you said, you know that if you had to compete internationally or against guys on the Olympia stage, you wouldn't do well, even though you do well in South Africa. Yeah. And unfortunately, with a lot of the bodybuilders, like the actual bodybuilder division guys, they think, like you said, they are God's gift to mankind or to bodybuilding or whatever. But if you had to compare any South African amateur, whether it be wellness, figure, bikini, bodybuilding, I do not know of one South African athlete that can compete on the Olympia stage and maybe make top 10. Not a chance. So I feel it's a bit unfair for her to have pointed out wellness. I'm lying. I actually see Shelby on the Olympia stage.
She definitely in South Africa has the most potential.
Yeah, no, okay. So I just want to take that back. I can see Shelby on the Olympia stage, and I'm so glad that she's switching over to NPC. But yeah, if you look at the bodybuilders, all of them think they're this big shot and they're like super cool and they're going to be a Mr. Olympia one day. Like, dude, no. You are already 25, 26, 27, 30 years old and you still look like the same you did 4 years ago. Whereas if you look at some of the 25-year-old, 23-year-old Olympian guys, like, that's just insane.
And it's sad how half of them are bald, half of them have lost all their hair, and
all their teeth, or their personality.
Yeah, exactly. And then you say, has it been worth it?
Yeah.
Has trying this and having a task that is as difficult as being Mr. Olympia is as difficult as being Floyd Mayweather.
Yes.
Being Mr. Olympia is as difficult as being Usain Bolt. Like, it's a freak show. Everything at their height is a freak show. Usain Bolt is a freak. Was a freak.
Yes.
Floyd Mayweather, freak. Jay Cutler, freak. Ronnie, freak.
I'm offended that you said Jay Cutler, not Ronnie. But yes, they're all freaks.
Well, anyone at that level. Chris Bumstead, freak.
Exactly.
That's no one in a million. I'm sorry. Obviously, like, I don't want to say don't have dreams.
Yeah.
But also at the same point, you need to be realistic within the realm of your capabilities. Yes. You can't have these delusions of grandeur where just because you came second at a men's physique show, now you're going to start prepping for classic and you become the next C-bum the next 3 years. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
And people don't understand, like, if you look from outside, they don't understand what goes into not just the hard training and the dieting, it's the water drop, the anabolics, the emotions, it's just the strain it puts on relationships with your loved one, your family, your friends. People don't know how hard it is. And I think that is why a lot of people do one show and then they call quits. It's just like those guys, like Chris Bumstead, Ronnie. To get to that level, I work my ass off right now and I'm not even close to where the Olympian figure goals are. Not even close. And that is the scary part. And I think that's the part that people have to realize. It's not, oh, give me 2 months and I'll be Mr. Olympia, that's not how it works, unfortunately.
And unfortunately, people say, bodybuilding is so unhealthy. It is unhealthy.
It is very unhealthy.
If you've watched Tiger Woods' documentary, you can see how unhealthy his life was.
Yes.
Everyone at the top and to be the best is unhealthy. Elon Musk is unhealthy. He's taken 14 days off in the last 20 years or something. Like, that's unhealthy. Everything at the peak of its heights and success is unhealthy. You kind of can't be like, oh, that's unhealthy, you can't do that. Like, if you want to do something, do it. You should be able, like Chris Bumstead, not healthy. Yeah, obviously the anabolics and stuff, but also mentally.
Yes.
The same as Usain Bolt, with everything that he put into doing that. It's unhealthy.
Yeah.
But
it's anything unhealthy is that excessive amounts of whatever you do.
But to be the best, it has to be unhealthy.
Exactly. You have to take those chances, and you just have to take those chances.
Yolandé, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
It was really fun. Thanks for having me again.
Of
Hopefully
course.
soon.
Yeah,
again.
and thank you so much, guys, for listening.